Wake of the Minnesota shooting, lawmakers are calling for more personal security. Tennessee Republican Congressman Tim Burchett said that members of Congress need round-the-clock security protection. He wrote, quote, "The threats are constant." A Capitol security official briefed senators about security precautions today. Speaking afterward, multiple lawmakers said more funding is necessary in order to keep them, their staff, and possibly their families safe. This heightened risk of violence, and it is that, includes something called swatting. That's when someone makes a false emergency call to lure a SWAT team to a target's home. Multiple members of Congress have been victims of this in the past few years. Our Scott MacFarlane joins me now. Scott, walk us through this.
This is pernicious. This is a new wave of threats. And in fact, our latest CBS News reporting is dozens of members of Congress and elected officials have been hit in recent months. It's not just one or two. The number's expanding. So a swatting is when somebody tries to menace somebody famous, a public official, somebody on social media, by making a false emergency call to 911, gets the SWAT team to respond, and maybe aspires to have some type of confrontation between the police and the person at that home. It is scary to the person in the house, scary to their family, to their kids, and that's part of the goal. But what we found in our reporting is that some of the swatters, including those targeting lawmakers, are almost broadcasting it cryptically to an audience to try to incentivize others to do it. This is a contagion, and you're seeing the first sign of it spreading.
And I'm just trying to add a couple of things together, Scott. What happened in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities this weekend, is someone, an assailant, posing as a police officer, arrived in the middle of the night, banging on doors saying, "Police, let me in." So let's just take that and this swatting. Authorities arrive. You don't know why they're there. Suddenly, the fear factor, it seems, goes right off the chart.
It's a shot of nitroglycerin to swatting in general, because you have this inherent trust in police when they're at your door. You have to, or else
the whole system breaks down.
The whole system breaks down. And if you find a way to knock down or destabilize the trust people have in police, these swatting incidents could be far more destructive and violent, and more deaths and accidents can happen. And what you had in Minnesota wasn't just somebody pretending to be a police officer, according to investigators, but you heard what they said yesterday. It was a, quote, hyper-realistic silicone mask to better imitate a police officer, with a fake license plate on a vehicle that it was souped up to be a police car. This is all potentially exacerbating the issue.
Back to swatting. Two issues, it seems to me. One, it dilutes resources that need to go elsewhere. And two, is it a defined crime, and are people being prosecuted for this defined or now recently defined crime?
When they can catch them, because this is often done by people who are quite good at making cryptic who they are and anonymizing themselves. What we see is there's federal charges for swatting that can happen. We've seen one case that popped recently, a Romanian national being prosecuted right here in Washington, D.C., accused of targeting members of Congress, faces a long prison term if he's convicted or if he pleads guilty. But got to catch him first. One thing I'll note, one congressman from upstate New York told me he's reached out to police to have them call him before arriving if they get a 911 call from his address, to avoid any of these interactions. He's been swatted before. He knows how this goes.
And so police are trying to figure out tactical ways to sift through this, maybe separate real from unreal.
But they don't want to slow down their responses.
Right.
You don't want to take the foot off the gas pedal, because quick response is so critical in emergency situations. Yes, some public figures say, call me on your way if you get a 911 call from my house, but don't slow down your response to my own.
Call and speed up. Scott MacFarlane, as always, great stuff. Thank you so much.